You're the one Lucullus said would come. You'll find him waiting for you down at the docks. Very well. A Legion outpost, what's it look like? We crossed the river when the profligates fled from Searchlight. From here, we stage raiding parties and process captures. I'm an officer of the Legion of the rank Decanus. When we encamped, I commanded a contubernium of 8 legionaries. So I command what's left, under the wise leadership of Centurion Aurelius, of course. As much as their cowardice will allow, the profligates avoid open battle, but on good days we find one of their patrols. Their landmines have caused us more trouble than their marksmanship, which is lacking. Are we done then? Wale. True to Kaiser.
A profligate bearing the mark of Cezar. What is the world coming to? Cursor Lucullus is waiting for you with the barge at the docks. He will take you to the fort to speak with Cezar. As much as the profligate's cowardice will allow, they haven't found the balls to attack us here, but we catch them out on patrols. With 2 contubernia at my command, I've killed and captured 4 times my numbers. The killing of profligates should never go unrewarded. I'll pay you a small sum per tag. Nothing on this earth could make you worthy to wear the armor of a Centurion. Do not ask again. It is the armor of a Centurion. You have the rare honor of beholding it unspattered by the blood of my inferiors. Of course I am, you fool. I am a Centurion. When Vulpes and Culta drove the NCR from Searchlight by clever means, Cezar himself ordered me to set up this camp and harass the profligates. It's a modest presence, a single finger of the Legion reaching across the river's narrows. But with me here, it has an iron knuckle. Wale.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? I am Cursor Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go? You'll be meeting face-to-face with the mighty Cezar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Cezar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. That it would be a woman is even more surprising. All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough. You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Cezar to take such an interest. The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Cezar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items. I know not why Cezar would wish to speak with such a physically inferior whelp, but I will allow this one exception. You may bear Cezar's mark, but do not attempt to share any of your medicine with anyone in the fort. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. I'll wait.
The dog is part machine, but its brain is flesh.
Excuse me.
So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word. Have a look. Pleasure doing business with you. I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second in command, however. It was unpleasant. He's the best the Legion has to offer, or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man, wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmins simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though. Shoot. No, ma'am. I'm an independent trader from Arizona. Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off. Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along. All right. Be seeing you around.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Legionary, yes.
I can't wait until they let me fight.
Don't bother me. I'm training to become a full legionary.
I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
Move along.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
What do you want from me, woman? I'm in charge of the arena, not the cooking pots. Such as? Light armor and machetes only. The challenger, the one who asks to enter the arena, may be pitted against one or more opponents. All matches continue until one side is dead. No exceptions. I set up the fights, keep track of prisoners available, and make sure the arena's cleaned up. Most of the time, it's some young legionary trying to make a name for himself, hoping to get noticed by Cezar or the Praetorians. We pit slaves or prisoners against each other once in a while, but it's not much of a show. They're usually too reluctant to kill each other. Like what? Women are beneath notice, as Cezar has taught us. I'm only allowing you to speak to me because you are Cezar's guest. I may yet, if Cezar commands it. A great warrior. When he was but a recruit, I watched him kill 10 men in the arena with his bare hands. He doesn't feel pain, and he never ever shows mercy. If all legionaries were like him, the Legion would be invincible. Know your place, woman. Unlike the profligates of the NCR, only men fight in the Legion. Go. Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. The mechanical dog you have with you. Where did you get it? I ask because Cezar once had a similar pet, but it was lost during a battle. It took years for Cezar to conquer Lanius's tribe, and Cezar showed mercy to the survivors, allowing them to join the Legion. Had the positions been reversed, Cezar would be dead. Lanius is called the Monster of the East because he never, ever shows mercy. Yeah? We breed them mostly, but sometimes we get some good ones from Denver. That whole city is overrun with them. Been doing it since I was a boy. The mongrels know to listen up when I start talking to them. Okay. Lupa, Yes, she's the mother of a lot of our best dogs. She's getting old, but she's still a tough old bitch. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. Cyberdog? Like the ones I've seen up in Denver? I know what you're talking about. And it would make Lupa immortal, in a way. Not too common, but you still see him around. You give Lupa a worthy death in the arena, and her brain is yours. Don't let your guard down just because she's old, though. Oh, and standard arena rules still apply. You don't get to wear armor, and you get only a machete for a weapon. Take all the time you need. Otherwise, Lupa will tear your throat out.
You must enter Cezar's tent alone. Anyone else must remain outside.
Sitting tight. And pretty.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
So I finally get to meet the courier who's accomplished so much in so little time. That's why I summoned you here, right? I mean, a man nearly kills you, and your response is to track him across the breadth of the Mojave? You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat? You visit the tops, and next thing you know, the head of the chairman is fleeing the strip like a whimpering little pup? When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip Benny was carrying when we captured him. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. Benny's theory, if I understood it through all the screaming, was that Mr. House stashed some kind of ultimate weapon down there. A gigantic robot to stomp us all to death. Who cares? Whatever it is, House built it. So I want it destroyed. I wouldn't trust Benny to lick my boots clean. This one falls to you. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Talk to Benny on your way out. He knows I'm going to let you decide how he dies. Maybe you want to remind him.
Go ahead and laugh, baby. I ain't blind to the humor in this situation. Yeah, well, laugh it up on your own time. Down to brass tacks. How'd your meet and greet with Baldy go? Try not to smile so wide, baby. You might break your mouth. Yeah, Baldy said you'd get to decide. So which way you leaning? Yeah, to die in my sleep at a ripe old age after a marathon session of hey-hey with 30 sex-starved broads. You'll set that up? Look, I ain't a harbor for illusions. I ain't expecting to get out of this shindig alive. That's why I'm trying to hand you my scheme, baby. It's called having a legacy. Sweet to offer, baby, but if you cut these ropes, every legionary in this camp's gonna come running. With machetes. Now, on the other hand, if I had a stealth boy and a bobby pin, I could see myself out. Know what I mean? Baby, if you show me the door to Scramsville, that's where I'll go. Out of your hair, never to return. I've been a fink to you. Caused more than my share of grief by a hard mile. Let me go. You won't see me again. No one likes a tease, baby. Sure. Baldy wants you to go down there in the bunker and destroy whatever Mr. House stashed there. Oh, you don't want to do that, baby. Whatever's down in that bunker is the key to the city called Vegas. So here's what you do. You go down there and you use the chip to do whatever Mr. House would have wanted you to do. And when you get back to the Strip, you find Yes Man. I made it so that cat can't help but be helpful. Dig? I'm the most interesting person I know. Now, in the way back, we called ourselves the Boot Riders. Silly name, but that's how we rode the Mojave, dig? On our feet. We were nomadic badasses not to be trifled with. A gang of ruffians, though, with a certain panache. When House gave us the tops to renovate, his robots dropped off boxes full of suits and ties and wingtip shoes. Told us we were the chairmen now. That caused an uproar, but I said the name sticks. Chow to the old ways, baby. Time to swing in style. If the shoes fit, you wear them. 7 years. Took over 3 days after Mr. House introduced himself. Our chief at the time, mountain of a guy named Bingo, wanted to stay nomadic. I disagreed, so he challenged me to the knife. He looked so surprised when I stuck that knife in his neck. Thought he was so tough, but he was so slow. That's how I made chief. It's how things were back then. We were east of Vegas when the first Securitron we ever saw rolled up on us. We junked it in a minute flat. The next day, 20 roll up, so we listened. Said we'd been selected. Vegas needed us to defend it. In exchange, we'd get cushy digs, full stomachs, medical treatment. Everything a nomad never gets, in other words. Most of the tribe thought we should say no. I thought it was the best idea ever. I prefer the term relocated. It took every stealth boy I had to cross the river at Cottonwood Cove. That was a close shave, riding a boat full of Legion boys. Once I was across, I changed into a uniform. I swiped off a dead legionary outside Nelson. Tried to sneak into the bunker, but that didn't work out. They found the chip. I wasn't going to tell them what it was used for, but let's just say they were persuasive. Go on. So you keep saying. You'd do that for me, baby? Don't tease if you don't mean it.
taught.
The camps are getting crowded.
I suspect you'll be a valuable asset to the Legion. Assuming you're really on our side, of course. There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along, for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own. I prefer to handle these matters through intermediaries, such as yourself. Besides the gratitude of the Legion, don't worry, you'll be paid in coin or caps. Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip. Hurry along, and she still may be in one piece by the time you get there.
The camps are getting crowded.
Let's hit the road.
What? You sure? Last chance to back out? All right. You've been a good dog, Lupa. Die well, girl. Later!
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. Cezar has permitted you to leave, but not with the platinum chip in your possession. Relinquish it and you may go. The guard in the weather station will return the chip to you when you're ready for Cezar's mission. Otherwise, we can return to Cottonwood Cove. Very well.